Hello everyone, welcome back to Waves Weekly, my series where I talk about video game news and stuff that's going on in the industry. Today we got some pretty good news, some more Death Stranding 2 PC port news, surprisingly, because totally not like I talked about Death Stranding 2 on every single video, right? Yeah, this channel is pretty much becoming a Death Stranding channel, and look, I'm okay with that. I want to talk about a lot of my favorite other video games, but Death Stranding's been on my mind a lot recently because of the PC port. But anyways, let's just get into the video. We had the Death Stranding specs announced yesterday on PlayStation's website, and it looks really good. It looks like a really well optimized game like the first PC port, and these specs should honestly run well on all modern systems today. It says 1080p on 30 FPS for lower end systems. I don't know how many people have those cards nowadays, but most people have, 40 series and 60 series, maybe 20 series nowadays. Honestly, I think this will just run on anything, probably even below what the minimum says, but it looks very optimized, and with DLSS and all the other upscaling technologies there's going to be added to the game, it's going to look great. And from what I've seen with the trailers and all the stuff on the PS5 Pro, it's going to look 10 times better on PC, and I'm super excited to see it. Not to mention, we have a really big jump in storage from the last PC port. It's 150 gigabytes for Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 1, I believe, was only around 70, 71. And this is definitely a really big jump, showing that it's obviously a much bigger game, of course, which just makes me all the more excited to see what it has to offer. I've been trying my hardest to avoid spoilers, and the game's almost a year old by now. With all this recommended popping up on my Instagram Reels, it's kind of hard to avoid Death Stranding 2 content. So I'm trying to avoid as much as I can, but it looks great so far. And on the topic of upscaling technologies, for the first time on PC, there's Pico as an option in upscale settings, which stands for Progressive Image Compositor. And it's developed by Gorilla for the Decima engine. It's the same technology that's used on the PS5 for Death Stranding 2. It could be used with all supported graphics cards and can be combined with various options for frame generation offered in-game, which I'm guessing DLSS, FSR, stuff like that. But I've actually never heard of this before, so I'm pretty excited to test that out. And on a different topic, for my Witcher fans, we have some more news regarding the new DLC that's coming to The Witcher 3 possibly this summer. We don't know for sure if this DLC is happening, but if it does happen, it's definitely going to bridge the gap between The Witcher 3 and 4, where we see, I guess, older Geralt and older Ciri. Some reports have suggested that the DLC might take players to the far eastern destination of Zerikania, if I'm pronouncing that right, and will be reusing locations and assets staying closer to Tamaria and Redania. It would make sense for the game to come out in around May, because the game's 11th anniversary is around that time, and people speculate that the DLC may cost around $30 because, they're reusing assets and stuff like that, but based on Blood and Wine and Hearts and Stone, CD Projekt Red knows how to make a DLC, especially with Phantom Liberty, if y'all have played that too. That was a great DLC. But if you also know CD Projekt Red, they're very quiet about stuff like this, and they're not going to let leaks get out or say anything about it. But, all we can do is hope, and we haven't really seen any Witcher news for a really long time, so I'm hoping we get something out of this. And some more news regarding Resident Evil Requiem. We did yesterday just get news on PC requirements for Resident Evil Requiem as well. It actually looks fairly optimized, also compared to Death Stranding 2. It looks really good, the minimum being obviously 1660, stuff like that, but it looks a lot better than Unreal Engine 5, and I'm glad Capcom is sticking to the RE engine. Also, Grace Ashcroft is coming to Fortnite. I'm so excited. And I don't usually delve into the Xbox field, but as of recently, we've seen a lot of people have stepped down, and we've had the new CEO of Xbox rise up. And a lot of people have been concerned for what this might mean for the next chapter of Xbox, because they've kind of been going on a downward spiral ever since that anything as an Xbox ad. But my man Matt Booty says no organizational changes are coming after the big shakeup that just recently happened. And you could say what you want. Xbox does have really good exclusives. Maybe not of recently, sometimes they've been kind of iffy, but Halo, Grounded, the Forza series, and a lot of the other games that they have as an exclusive just kind of forms the overall image for Xbox. And with the new CEO, it's understandable that people are concerned what might happen to the exclusives if they're going to continue down the route where they bring them to other consoles, which nothing's wrong with that, or they might go down the OG route where they keep exclusive for themselves just like PlayStation does. Either way, the number one thing I just hope they don't do is start shoving AI in gamers' faces. That's the number one thing we don't want. And the only AI we want back is Cortana. The cloud scenario, I'm not really against cloud gaming, but like most gamers, I 100% prefer playing on a physical hardware device rather than cloud gaming where you have to rely on internet or some other external source. It's much better when you could play on your own hardware and just know that you have the game downloaded and that you own it. But hey, as long as Xbox keeps releasing good games and keeps the gamers in mind over other things, then I think everything will be good. For also my people who play Ultra Kill, we did just get the new Layer 8 Fraud, and I haven't played the game in a bit, but I have been anticipating the new layer, and I'm very excited to try it out. So if y'all haven't tried it out and y'all have Ultra Kill, I recommend y'all do, because so far every layer has been great, and I'm super excited to see what's next. And I don't know if y'all have noticed recently, Konami has been doing a lot of stuff with Metal Gear recently. There's been a lot of crossovers, like the Siege one, a lot of merchandise being dropped, and it's safe to assume, obviously, it's for the Master Collection Volume 2, but I'm glad Konami's actually using their IP and showing respect to the game, but I really miss Kojima at Konami because we possibly could have gotten more Metal Gear games, probably not, but hey, Kojima did a great job and the series ended very well, and I'm excited to see Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker on PC. I was thinking about even getting the Master Collection Volume 2 for my Switch 2, but knowing Nintendo and probably what Konami is going to do, they're going to lock Metal Gear Solid 4 at 30 FPS, which I know it can hit 60 on the Switch 2. They're just going to lock it at 30 just in case there's maybe any drops or something. So I'm probably going to stick to PC, possibly Steam Deck if it can hit 60 on that, which I think it probably can. I'm super excited to replay Metal Gear Solid 4 nonetheless because it was a very great game and I want to see it running in bigger resolutions and better frame rates than the 20 FPS on PS3. But anyways, guys, kind of a short episode today, but we talked about some pretty good stuff, I feel like. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all on next Waves Weekly. Later.